my name is Amanda with Orthodontics. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the top 3 orthodontic emergencies that we have. The very first one that we have that is most common is broken brackets. If for any reason you have a broken bracket, that's very common if you're chewing or biting on things that are too hard for your braces to handle. And it will break the bond between the braces and your tooth. If for any reason that happens, you might notice it, you might not. Some people feel a little pop when that happens, but some people don't notice it until they're brushing and flossing their teeth at night. A broken bracket will bounce up and down on the wire. It won't be attached to the tooth. Obviously, if it's not attached to the tooth, it's not moving the tooth. So we want to get you in to bond that bracket back onto the tooth. But you'll notice that it will bounce up and down on the wire or slide back and forth. If that happens and it's very uncomfortable for you, you can always take a piece of wax. I always tell patients to ball it up between your fingers, and then you're going to place it over top of the bracket, just smush it over the bracket and press it onto the tooth to where the bracket is not bothering your lip, because there's now a barrier between your lip and the bracket, and it also kind of adheres it to the tooth to where it's not going to bounce up and down. If it happens to be a very back bracket, the last one in your mouth, if that happens and the bracket slides off of the wire, try to save the bracket, bring it with you to your next appointment. The wire then is of course going to be long because the bracket's not on there. If the bracket is long and sticking out, we never recommend going in your mouth with any kind of hard wire cutter or clipper or anything like that to cut the wire. What we actually recommend is taking a piece of wax again, balling it between your fingers, placing it over the wire that is sticking and poking, and you'll place it over the wire, press it onto the tooth. That's going to keep the wire from bouncing up and down and also from poking you. But again, never go in your mouth with any kind of cutter or anything to cut that wire. A lot of times that can also cause the bracket that you're clipping it behind to break, and then that's even more that has to be fixed at your next appointment with us. If for any reason your wires are poking you, that is the most common thing that we see. Patients come in and they say, my wire's really poking me in the back. When you come in for your appointments with us, we do leave your wire a little bit long out of the back of those last brackets. That's for several reasons. If we have to rotate the teeth, we need a little extra wire to let the teeth move properly. At your appointment with us, we do leave the wire long, but we also turn the wire in towards the inside of your mouth to where it's curved and it shouldn't poke or stick you. With it being long out of the back, never take your fingers, go back there and play with it or anything like that. It can actually, 1, poke your finger and really hurt you, but 2, it can move the wire and it can actually cause it to flip and actually hurt your cheek even worse than what you were experiencing before. Another common thing that we have is steel ties. We put these little steel ligature ties around your brackets that are kind of like the colored O-rings that we place on, but these engage the wire or push the wire further into the bracket so we can get extra rotation out of certain teeth. The pigtails, we call them pigtails. The pigtails that kind of stick out, we do turn those underneath your wire so that it doesn't poke you or stick you. When you're flossing or brushing your teeth or using the little interproximal brushes that we give you at your initial bonding appointment with us, if those little ligature ties come out and they flip out and they really bother your cheek or anything because your floss pulls on them or anything like that, you can always take the end of an eraser and press it in towards your teeth and towards the wire. That's going to prevent it from rubbing on your cheek or hurting you. Again, I'm Amanda with Orthodontics. Those are the top 3 orthodontic emergencies that we see in our office. Of course, if anything is bothering you, you can feel free to call our office. Any one of our staff are here to answer any one of your questions. Dr. Hoyna is very good about getting on the phone also and answering questions, and we'll schedule you an appointment to come in for an emergency visit, and we will fix whatever is going on.